fun because you get to get up close with all the fans.
Yeah.
Have you been to WonderCon before?
I haven't. I've done the other convention. I haven't been to WonderCon yet, so it's a lot of fun. I feel like this is more like true fans, you know what I mean? It's been around a long time, and it's a lot of fun. There's so much enthusiasm, which is always great, you know?
So I've been looking at this film for a little while on the Tumblr site, seeing all the photos and trying to piece together what exactly is going on. I've seen Bruce Willis on a flying bicycle.
Okay.
What else can you tell me about the film?
Well, it's a time travel movie, and Joe and Bruce play the same person. Bruce plays an older version of Joe, and they're kind of hunting each other through the movie. And so that's kind of the basic gist of it. And that was also one of the first challenges of it. How do you turn him into a younger Bruce Willis?
Did you work with Bruce to make sure you had the same mannerisms and little things like that?
Yeah, very much. I studied his movies and I listened to his voice. I had, clips of his voice on my iPod that I would just listen to. He even recorded some of my voiceover lines for me and sent them to me so I could hear how it would sound in his voice, and I would learn it from that. And then just this makeup. I've never seen anything like it. I'm so glad we did it with makeup too in real life instead of using any digital effects, because it just looked real. My parents came to visit the set one day and my mom was literally disconcerted. She was like, I don't know who this person is standing next to me. You sort of are like my son, but you're not him. And so that's the thrill of acting for me, is becoming somebody else.
Well, it feels like the Resident Evil universe just keeps growing for us. And maybe that's because we've been involved for so many years, but it's constantly re-inspiring, and especially for my husband, because we don't put out a Resident Evil every year. It's not like a machine kind of made movie. You have one every 2 years, you have one every 3 years, but you never really know when another one's gonna come out or not. So this is kind of the first time that one has come out like 2 years later,
What's one thing that you can't wait for fans to see when the film comes out?
What's one thing?
Well, you don't want to reveal that, and so people can see it and experience it in the theater for the first time.
I think that I think what Mark was talking about earlier, the element of being orphaned, that's such an enormous, definitive part of Peter Parker and why he is the way he is and why he has the exterior that he has before he even becomes Spider-Man. And I think that's an important story to tell, not just for Peter Parker, but kind of for everyone, for any kid that's felt that way, or any kid that's gone through something like that, those kinds of hardships in their childhood. It's inspirational in that way. And I think that's what Spider-Man has done for so many people for 50 years, made them feel like they can take over even if they're born an underdog. And that's a nice element that's definitely in this one.